Hello, everybody, and welcome. Cindy Ashton here, CEO of Speaker Stardom Booking Agency. Hang in for the next few minutes because I am super excited to teach you how to write an email pitch to a meeting planner so you can get yourself booked. Now, if you've ever found yourself thinking to yourself, I have a great message, but I don't know how to get in front of meeting planners. Or maybe I've been on multiple stages, but I don't know how to get paid for it. Or perhaps I'm an expert in my field, but I am having a really hard time getting seen. Or maybe I'm already getting paid to speak, but how do I get higher pay and consistent bookings? If you've ever thought that to yourself, then hang with me for the next 5 to 7 minutes because I'm going to show you exactly how you pitch yourself to a meeting planner effectively. Now, the first things is what to do and what not to do. Do not write a long letter. They get a lot of proposals and it becomes really overwhelming. You really want to keep it under 200 words. You want to avoid listing all your credentials. Again, it becomes very overwhelming and they don't know how that relates to what you do for the audience. So instead, show your credentials by showing your results that you get. Now, don't tell your overcoming story, and that might sound weird because your story is amazing, but that's all about you. You have to be able to show the audience needs. You have to be able to communicate to how your story is actually going to help the audience. You want to really avoid being generic in your message. Things like, I'm going to help you to be healthy, be confident, have more money, have better sex. All these things are very, very generic. You really want to be specific with your message to a specific niche, and I'm going to explain that, and you're going to see it very clearly in a few slides on the pitch letter as an example I'll be showing you. So you also want to be careful not to give a call to action. You definitely want to do a call to action. And sometimes we get super excited that we forget the most obvious thing. And of course, don't not have a signature. That sounds obvious, but you don't want to sign off going, thank you, or sincerely, Cindy. That's very informal. You want to be able to say sincerely or best or thank you, Cindy Ashton, CEO of, as seen on, link to my speaker reel, something that's more formal. Now, the 4 key parts to every great pitch is problem, solution, credibility, and call to action. Pretty obvious, but this is really where people struggle because they're not getting specific enough. So on number 1, with a problem, you want to state a specific insight into the specific challenge that specific niche is having, which means you can't have the same message for every single conference and every single market. It really needs to be tailored and it has to show a fresh perspective or a radical insight. And I'm going to show you how that works on the next slide. You also want to give a solution, which is basically, give them a teaser into what needs to happen for that challenge to be solved. And then you want to give credibility. So state something in your background that shows that you're the authority on that solution. So all those great overcoming stories and accomplishments and credentials you have are awesome, but pick that 1 or 2 thing that will specifically make that change in the audience for them. And then of course, your call to action, you want to ask to schedule the call. So let's look at a pitch letter that I had written that got me booked. Dear Lisa, I'm reaching out to explore speaking at your coming conference, Rise to the Moon. Okay, the first part, problem. Only 14% of financial services industry are women because they get turned off by the male style of selling. Women want to connect with real people and buy into a bigger purpose. So in less than 2 lines, I stated a very specific problem in a very specific industry niche vertical. It's all the same thing, niche, vertical, industry, market. You have to be that specific. And I was specific to the problem that's very prevalent in financial services that may not be prevalent in other markets. So notice how the next paragraph, I weave together my solution and my credibility. So shifting away from the pushy selling tactics, TV personality. So you just learned that I'm a TV personality. I'm on television internationally. So TV personality, Cindy Ashton, draws from her extensive performing background to show advisors and agents. So I've just named my market again. How to connect. Connect is a big word in that industry. With prospects, because that's who they need to connect with. Using presentation and storytelling techniques that the greatest entertainers use to magnetize and influence their audience. audience. Oh, so she's a TV personality, but she combines this skill set to teach others how to do that in their everyday job. Ah, that makes sense. So I've pulled it all together. And then, of course, you can see me in action. And here's my speaker sheet. And of course, for the call to action, I want to customize my proposal to your audience. Can we schedule a quick 10-minute call on either Thursday or Friday afternoon at 1, 2, or 4 p.m. Eastern, or you could pick a time in my calendar at this link. Best, Cindy. Under 200 words, 170 words to be exact. So really, really succinct. And that's what you want to be able to do in your pitch letter. Problem, solution, credibility, call to action, all very specific. It's like magic. So imagine how easy it would be for you to get booked if you were absolutely crystal clear on what the different niches that you worked in, what the different messages and radical insights were for those niches, so you could really stand out, and knew how to leverage your existing connections and your expertise to really get ahead of the game faster, as well as understood how to cut through that noise and zero in on generating targeted leads. There are way too many speakers out there just running after every possible conference submission that they can, and they're just wasting a lot of time. So when you really drill down that niche, that message, and those insights, then there's ways for you to generate those targeted leads that really cuts down on your times and gets you much better results. Now imagine how much easier it would be if you had that personalized strategic 90-day plan to get you booked that was easy to follow and implement. So every time you went to implement, it's sitting there for you with the exact steps. I mean, that's awesome, right? And then once you get through to the meeting planner and you get on that call, you need to know what exact questions you need to ask them to prepare a proposal that's going to get a yes. And of course, how easy is it going to be for you to effortlessly negotiate and higher pay and perks with all these tools? So if you are one of these people who is highly ambitious and you know that you've got a message that's going to change lives and you're very driven and you want to get booked, whether it's a speak to sell bookings or the paid bookings, then we have a couple of really great opportunities for you. Option number one is a lucrative booking small group intensive, which means that it's virtual. You could do it from your pajamas in your home, but you're actually getting on calls and working with me personally and developing that 90-day strategy and making sure that your pitches and your lead generation and everything is absolutely in alignment and going to convert for you. For your current pricing and class dates, click on the link below or go to speakerstardom.com/lucrative bookings. Now, for option two, if you know that you need that support in getting bookings and building your speaking career, but you're like, I'm not really sure what's working, what's not, I'm not sure what's right for me, we want to make sure that you get the right solution. We want to see you get results. We have Suzanne St. John on our team, and she is absolutely amazing. You can even see from her gorgeous smile of how beautiful of a soul that she is. So be sure to book your complimentary consultation with her, and she'll be able to give you really great guidance. Again, click on the link below or go to speakerstardom.com/meet Suzanne. All right, so go out there, happy pitching, and we're very excited to support you in your speaking dreams.